Hello everyone. It's Sunday, so that means we're streaming. We are on Backlog Battlefields. We're continuing to play down more games that, I've been having in my collection, but just haven't gotten around to. And tonight, we are going over Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, the most recent of the Sherlock Holmes series. I think we talked about this before, where there's like 8 or 11 games, something like that, and I played most of them. And this was the most recent one. I can't believe this one came back in 2016, because I've had it since that. Anytime the major release for Sherlock Holmes games comes out, I get them, but just haven't had the time over the last 4 years to stick with it. But now we do. So let's solve some mysteries. And as usual, for games like this, I like to speak out loud what I'm thinking, so I can kind of go through a thought process, but for the most part, I'm curious to see how this changes things up versus the other Sherlock Holmes games. Alright, so we're going to make sure that we have subtitles on. Good, perfect. Launch Sherlock talent. I think that's kind of a funny way to put it. Imagination. Alright, so left bumper's imagination, lock Sherlock habit. Casebook. Seems pretty straightforward. Hey Letty, welcome in. And then yeah, this is... I don't remember there being a difficulty mode last time. What is this a difficulty mode for? Huh. And yeah, this is a new playthrough. I've played almost all the Sherlock Holmes games, Letty, except for this one, the most recent one that came out a few years ago. And I'm making up for that tonight. This will be what we play this week. If you haven't played a Sherlock Holmes game, this is actually just for fun. I actually like playing puzzle games and mystery games when I'm not, shooting up people or running, jumping, or playing RPGs. If I want to play something chill, I usually like playing puzzle games. Something that you can just kind of not turn your brain off, but you can focus on something a little bit more constructive. And some of my favorite ones are the Sherlock Holmes games or other mystery ones. And this is one I've been meaning to play for quite a while. They're usually made by the same studio. And like many of the books, they usually have 5 cases. Sometimes culminating into a nice grand one, but it's always hit or miss. So that's Sherlock Holmes right there. I always tell people, because some people are like, oh, mystery games, just point and click and solving. It's like, you don't realize how fun that is. Don't knock it till you've tried it. It's fun to try to solve mysteries. Finding clues, piecing them together. Most people like really lazy ones, like L.A. Noire, where it is so brain dead, where it's like the one guy with a bloody knife hid his bloody knife in the other room, literally the other room. I'm solving a mystery. It's like, oh my god, give me a break. They basically, that's like training wheels mysteries. But that was a cool cold open.
I do apologize. Am I disturbing you?
No, please. Do come in, Mrs.
My name is Miss Alice de Bouvier. I'm Mr. Holmes' new neighbor.
Oh, I didn't have the pleasure to...
That's Watson? They changed his design.
Watson. Could we provide you with any assistance?
She is not the concern, Watson.
All of a sudden, he's like young.
Then what is this about?
That child standing sniffling behind her. Get rid of him, Watson.
But he is shivering with cold.
I'm not gonna
He's
lie, the
upset.
visuals have never been great in this series, but I could have
Tom
sworn
knocked at the wrong door.
Crimes and Punishment looked better than this, and this came
Warm
later.
yourself by the fire. Can I offer you a cup of tea, Mr. Bouvier?
Well,
It is not as though we are disturbing you know who. Are we?
I suppose not.
Since you are our new neighbor, it is perhaps better that you know what he's like.
Cold open a pun.
I'm
Cold open.
starting to
I'm
worry.
always speaking puns, lady.
Well,
You have to understand.
Mr. Holmes is relapsed.
And alliteration.
His
I love
illness that he has
alliteration.
seizes him when he finds himself with nothing to do. He becomes completely asocial. And alas, this is a very difficult, medically incurable case. Now this must stay between us.
Of course, I understand. How very sad.
But there is a cure, if only a temporary one. A thrilling inquiry. Most certainly. If he refuses this one, then his condition will worsen.
I am still here, you know. I didn't fall out of the window. Very well, then.
Thank you, miss.
Alright, so it looks like this is going to follow the same format as the previous one, where you first start by profiling a person, kind of getting clues. Oh, what? No, I have to choose what our things are? Interesting. I don't even know what conjunctivitis is. Can I select? I can't help but notice that, first of all, it's jumping between fuzziness and not fuzzy. Oh shit, hold on. I'm not gonna lie, this is, graphically speaking, weaker than the other Sherlock Holmes games. It's like, wow, did they lose some budget in between then? I have to look up who made this. So here's the thing. First of all, the load time for that is weird. Second, I can't help but notice that if I look very closely, this kind of looks like what I'm supposed to be picking up. So I'm not sure what the mini game of this is supposed to be. They did not explain this. Okay, so they're automatically doing it. So I guess based on our interpretation of his attitude, they're telling us if he was weeping or if it's something called conjunctivitis or whatever. Usually aesthetics are okay. These are low budget games. I always have to tell people that, like, these are low budget games. Most point and click adventure games or point and click mystery games are not high budget. I'm not going to say those are caring parents. Well, actually, it is saying caring parents. Okay, hold on. Normally, Sherlock would say something if I selected one of these. I'm missing 2 clues. It's very not cool of them, by the way, to not give a tutorial on what the hell we're doing. Because anybody who hasn't played one is going to be like, what the hell is this all even about? How do I go down? Used to be when I scrolled down, I could keep scrolling. Oh, here we go. I'm supposed to use the bumpers. It looks like it's gonna auto scroll for me. Alright. Basically, we're just looking for anything that could be yellow. Here we go. So you can read and use a map. Alright, so he's slightly educated. It's looking like malformation is what that highlighted word is supposed to be. I mean, it doesn't look like an injury. Looks like the kid just has gangly hand. Yeah, don't expect to be wowed, by the way, by any of the graphics in here. But it's not about... It's one of those cases where it's about the quality of the writing. And in the case of a mystery, how satisfying is the mystery? Because if it's not a very well done mystery, if it's too brain dead, like, it's not great. Okay, validate. That's a little bit something new, is that we have to take some gray area elements. Used to be they let us just have the profile, and from the profile we could kind of ascertain what lines up with their testimony and second guess them. Alright, so Tom over here is 8 years old. He's got parents that are still alive. He has malnutrition. And we're going to go with the fact that he has malnutrition and he's been crying recently. That's what we're going to go with. Alright. Nope, nope. We already did the profile. Hold on.
Now tell me, boy, what brings you here?
It's my father, sir. He's missing. I don't know what to do.
What's his name?
George Hurst, sir.
Missing, eh? And what
That
did the
went
police say?
by way too quickly.
Police, they don't believe me. They say he's just abandoned me. But that's a lie.
See, this is the part where anytime that they have that QuickTime event, you have to throw back that, whatever you just had. So they're saying that they abandoned him. Well, if he has caring parents, then that obviously cannot be true. Malnutrition at 8 years old have nothing to do with it.
Obviously. Your clothes are well mended and you can read. Your parents may be poor, but you are loved.
Yeah, well, it's just the two of us now. My mother died when I was a little one.
And that's just one more reason for not leaving you. Your father doesn't seem the irresponsible type. He's very good to you.
Well, that's right. But he has no fixed work, so he often takes odd jobs for the day. Because that's all he can find. Only this time, he didn't come home.
And when was the last time you saw him?
3 weeks ago. He left for a new job. But this time, he was acting a bit
Yeah, lady,
strange.
believe it or not, I like playing an alternation of stressful games and then chill games. I like to alternate. And also, whenever I'm playing an RPG or just finishing an RPG, I don't like jumping into an RPG right after it. To me, it's just, I get exhausted.
Strange. In what way?
He said
It used to
me,
be I can just go
"Son,
straight from
I'm
RPG to
out on a
RPG, but
special job.
sometimes I just
Don't
want to
you
mix it
dare
up.
move from here.
Actually, oftentimes I want to mix it
I
up.
think something went wrong.
I missed a
3
clue.
weeks. That's
I
a
can go
long
back.
time.
Well, every day I thought he would show up. And anyway, I can look after myself.
He can look after himself. Well, malnutrition isn't exactly his fault. That's something that apparently came from his parents. His parents aren't there. It's probably the fact that he's 8 years old. He's just a kid. Yep.
What were you thinking? You and your father are both at risk. You should have come to me much earlier.
I was afraid. I ain't got no family. And I've got no other place to go. If our landlord finds out that father left me, he'll throw me out on the street.
Tom, You've been very resourceful. We shall be discreet.
If only my mother was still here.
Very well. Your address, please, Tom.
12 Dorset Street. The first floor, door E. It's in Whitechapel, sir. But I ain't got no money to pay.
Who asked for money, Tom? Your case seems to be the very medicine I need. I'll meet you there shortly.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I will say this. If I'm going to comment on the visual style, I will... Oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, first person is a way to play any of these. The environment, I swear they use the exact same environment. In fact, even the dog model looks the exact same. I used to be able to punch that bag. But the detailing on the face is so different. And not exactly in a good way.
My archive. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. Brave Toby. Best nose in the British Empire.
I kind of like the previous voice actor too.
Poor child. Holmes, you should help him.
My analysis table. It's useful for my work.
Oh, I can go outside this time. I wonder if I'm going to need the pastor outfit at some point. That's kind of cool. I like that look. Gotta go with the deer hunter cap.
A map of London and its surroundings. Could be useful.
Alright. Fast travel. One of the things I always liked about this was, I guess they got rid of it where... Okay, there it is, yeah. To the side, you can actually see yourself traveling, and when you get there, you can review clues while you're here. It was a pretty nice way of disguising a load screen. This load screen's taking its time, though. There we go. Alright, here's where we start collecting clues, looking at people.
For the cab, I'll have to walk.
And what you always want to do if they're ever in an environment is look at literally everything. If something is selectable, you can talk to them, talk to them. Sometimes you have to go back and talk to a person after you gain a clue. But it's always good to get an appraisal of the situation.
How can I get to Dorset Street? Is it far?
You're heading the wrong way. You need to go back and then go through the arch.
Also, how tall is Sherlock? Good lord. Like, from the first person perspective, it looks like I'm 6 inches taller than this guy. I mean, that's possible, I guess. But I'm like, I'm taller than everybody. Can I run? Okay, I can run. Cool.
Whitechapel High Street. North Street.
I'm supposed to go to Dorset Street. Is this it? Yeah, 7 Dorset Street.
There's nobody at home.
"12 Dorset Street. Room E. Dorset Street. "13. 12. Okay. And he was E. How's your week so far, Letty? Seems like I get a chance to talk to you when we're on stream like this. Alright, so I forgot that I have detective vision. So there's stains on this. Tabard Pub. Which is actually... Actually, we passed that on the way in here. So we're probably going to have to visit that pub. Not all clues are necessarily highlighted in yellow if it's something super obvious.
Please, sir, find my father.
Okay. Well, Letty, you're in the exact position I was, where for both personal and work reasons, I moved to Texas, and I was in the same situation. I'm like, cool, I have to get everything done in like a month. Now, the car thing might be a little rough. How far is Florida from you?
Huh, so that's why you came to see me.
Strand Magazine. Seems like the work of an enemy strand.
Tom probably reads at night.
Objects marked with exclamation point can be used to further... Oh, are used further. Alright, cool. In other words, it's a clue. I want to pay attention to those
A collection
clues.
of worn-out and second-hand books. George
My week was
Hurst
very
providing
samey.
his son with the best education that he could afford.
Father bought all those
All the
books for
noise
me.
over social media makes me want
Didn't
to
tell me,
turn off social
but I know
media
that he
like
pawned his
forever.
coat for
Just
them.
given how ridiculous social media is right now.
Tom probably reads at night.
So the fact that Tom reads at night is going to be a clue. Why do I can't open this book? Ooh, Pennsylvania. That is quite a distance. Well, honestly, my move was like 900 miles, so I completely understand.
A collection of
Moving from
worn-out
East
and
Coast to
second-hand
Central.
books. George
At least for
Hurst
you, you'd
was
be driving right
providing
down the
his son
coast.
with the best education that he could afford.
Father bought all those books for me. He didn't tell me, but I know that he pawned his coat for them.
Alright.
Food's running low. It's already 3 weeks since George Hurst's disappearance.
Pretty good looking vegetables for 3 weeks. Stuff would rot.
Well, I can see the preparations for peasant soup. A clever concoction for somebody with apparently no culinary skills.
Alright, what is this? All rents payable. Okay. Okay, so he paid up his rent, which is 5 shillings. Hey Gingy, how's it going? Thanks for following. Let's see. We're solving mysteries. Not as exciting as David Racing, but it's what I like to do. If I just want to play a chill game, solve some mysteries.
My mother saw.
I'm not always shooting stuff and playing RPGs.
My father told me what she was like, but that's all I have.
I'm sorry, Tom. My mother left me when I was very young too.
But yeah, Letty, honestly, it's like times like this where I'm like, man, social media is just such a waste of space and is such a distraction, because I went on it just because it's like, okay, it's a great way to advertise that, hey, here's a video that's out. And there are some people that I've met through like, say, Twitter that have been really good, but I haven't touched Facebook in years. Don't miss it. Don't want to go back. I went on purely to like look at my friends' baby pictures. But it is so useless. So incredibly useless.
George Hurst's work was varied.
And I used to follow Twitter back when gaming news was more reliably distributed from there, because it was a great way to keep on top of things.
Father used to fix it.
But right now, it's such a waste of time. And it does nothing except just spread just emotions and misinformation.
I hope you'll find my father soon.
Okay, I get the feeling I'm supposed to be deducing something from the clues I just got. I have no clues to work with. I want to... What am I missing? I'm missing something. The fact that this is not highlighted green bothers me. It means I'm missing something.
Tom,
Like, I want to take those matches in like that, but clearly that's not what I'm supposed to do. Also, isn't it kind of meta to have a Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Doyle, or is it, yeah, to be here? Is that kind of meta? Hey, yeah, don't worry, Letty. I too have talked to a bot at some point. They just make him so darn real.
I hope you'll find my father soon.
Okay, I got the prompt to look at something. I already looked at this, though. Or was there something else to look at?
the old Tabard pub, North Street.
Oh, this ladder. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
It's too dark. I can't see anything.
It's a good thing we know where we can find some matches. Alright, so now we got some clues to work with. Alright, so normally when you find evidence, evidence has to be connected in some way to draw conclusions. And sometimes as the game goes on, it'll actually throw clues in there that actually don't do anything, or evidence. Yeah, that's right. He was wearing a pendant, and I don't remember what that was for. His birth year is 1887. That'll probably be a clue somewhere.
A leather satchel, what's in it?
Alright, hello there, George. I know it's difficult for you to find a job. I can relate, and you need to feed and clothe your son. Cannot relate. So I've attached to this letter a pub leaflet. I heard there is a fellow there who is offering a special job. Maybe it'll help you. I hope so. Good luck. No name attached. Awfully suspicious. Immediately suspicious.
Just some old things.
Was that the end of it?
Please, sir, find my father.
Alright, so we're done over there. Is it still saying we're missing something? Oh, they want us now. They want us to examine the thing. I bet.
The old tab.
Maybe. Okay, so that's weird that I couldn't do that earlier. All right, find. Now we got a new objective. It hasn't checked off that we've explored everything here, though. And this isn't green. We probably have to find something that was right here. We'll probably have to come back and find that. So something that could, I don't know, be a tankard or something. Something was there. Whenever something is not highlighted green, like especially him, that means that...
The old Tabard pub? Did you hear anything about it from your father, Tom?
My father's a regular, but he's not a drinker, sir. It's close by on North Street.
Okay. So anytime you have somebody that's not highlighted green, same thing, that means that we're going to have to come back here with some evidence and talk to them about something once we get a new clue. So for now, we're going to check out the tabard.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Well, if it isn't young Wiggins. And I see you found yourself a job.
If you can call it that. I hate it.
Wiggins is the street urchin that kind of helps out Sherlock Holmes
need of your
with odd
assistance
jobs and
later.
weird stuff. Whenever you need urchin children powers, he's there. Despite the fact that Sherlock Holmes apparently gets younger, this dude never
At your
gets
service, Mr.
older.
Holmes.
Actually, I think he's shorter in this one all of a sudden.
I need to Earwig to find out who is offering this special job.
Got cards here.
No. That fella who's offering the special jobs, he never drinks alcohol.
Okay. Gotta find a profile. I mean, this guy isn't drinking alcohol.
Bosses off your backs.
Jeez, look at all these flies.
Bosses beware. When we're screwed, we multiply.
Equality for the working class. I'm glad I'm my own boss. I can complain only to myself. Or to Watson.
The man who's offering that special job has a proper set of mutton chop whiskers.
Okay. Thing is, though, I haven't seen anybody like that.
Has whiskers and never drinks alcohol.
Well, how about that? I mean, he's drinking nothing. That could be non-alcoholic. It's a nice knife.
It's not him.
No gods, no masters.
Hold on, have to sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. That was rough. Okay.
This must be the man that I'm looking for.
I guess I have to just keep watch. Okay. That's actually kind of funny. How much can that guy be just drinking water? 30 minutes. I wonder if I would have had to wait 30 minutes real time.
Interesting. A missing person. I should find out more.
John Strovich. Alright. Alright. Real fast, I'm gonna go get a drink of water. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hey, John, welcome in. We're solving mysteries tonight. Just a chill stream. We're just solving mysteries.
You see that gentleman? I need you to follow him and report back to me.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, we're playing as the kid now. That's new. Crap, who's the guy I'm supposed to be following? I completely lost. I think it's him, the guy with the chops in the front. Yeah, yeah, that is. Okay, cool. This tactical espionage action right here.
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere.
Get to cover, kid. That was close. I see now that it's actually going to do an exclamation point every time it says he's about to look. Hey, Letty. Actually, it may not be you. I think it could be the stream. It could be my internet disconnecting. If it happens to multiple people, it's not you. Shit. He's not strictly looking at me. I think I can do this. It's playing such dramatic music.
They won't let me pass. I'll need to find another way.
Rich folk feed meat to their dogs.
Living costs are too much these days. My son has to work down the sewers. He's only 7.
It's actually super conspicuous how this guy's just stopping. It's like, huh, I occasionally like rotating myself completely. Just to make sure nobody's following me.
Stupid kid.
Ah, boys from the Bruisers gang. Better keep out of their way.
Stop crying and get to work.
I'll be able to continue the chase if I climb up the chimney, but it's dangerous.
What the hell? We're gonna climb up a chimney?
What are you waiting for? Go on then.
What if this is exactly how they clean chimneys? At first I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? Also, what is he gripping? Oh my god, I died. That's one child death. Don't die. Don't die, kid. Don't die. Okay.
He's still here, that's a relief.
Assassin's Creed, this is not. I wonder if you actually fall to your death. Oh, wait. Shit. Keep concentration controls balanced. Okay. This is actually harder than it looks. These things are like sliding all over the place. Okay. Already I can see they tried going for a little bit of a variety with gameplay versus what we've been doing. Where's my suspect? Shit. Where is he? Crap. Crap, 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 crap. Phew, that was close. Alright. It's pretty good.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor?
Oi! What are you doing in my garden?
No place to hide here. We'd better go through the yard.
This kid's a natural parkour artist. It's like I'm playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate all over again. Also, how did I get one demerit already? When did that happen? You know, honestly, the cover controls are stickier than Gears of War, which is not a bad thing in this case. I kind of prefer there being like a sort of auto glide kind of deal, where it's just sticky.
I know that thing. These shoes shine.
Shoe shine
Hey
jump.
Jim, can you lend me your kit? I'm on a secret mission for Mr. Holmes.
shoe shine minigame. Check Discord.
Dirty. I should use a damp cloth.
Did you fall?
I'm sorry.
Damn, botched that. Okay, so apparently the stream is being buggy. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna try this. See if this is better. Alright, so we're trying something. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay. Lady, honestly, I'll take that. I can't tell you what's going on right now. Other than me botching a shoe shine ability. I like how they just assume people are going to know how to shoe shine. It's like the kid could have been like, okay, well, first I need to like clean it off with a cloth, and then I need to you know, apply a buffer in the brush and then the
Talking with
paste.
cabinet. I need to get closer.
But man, it gave me like 2 strikes for not knowing how to shoe shine. How brutal.
I'm praying it doesn't get cold again. I've no money for coal.
Yeah, it sucks. Sometimes they're just bad internet nights and I don't know why. It's like I'm not doing anything different. But the internet's just like, oh, I just feel like being shit. The good news is that I'm recording this separately. Look at this kid. Literally Assassin's Creed. So when people are, I don't know, I've been thinking, like, I've been so mad, and sometimes when I'm mad I write. And the thing I've been thinking is, like, man, if social media doesn't get better in like the next, literally till the end of the year, because we're halfway through the year, I'm just gonna stop. Just stop. I'll keep up, you know, of course, Discord, and I'll keep up, you know, YouTube. I'm not going to stop, you know, engaging on those platforms. But anything outside of that is a complete waste of time. It's just garbage. And people try to leverage the stupidest crap now more than ever, where they have this fake social currency. It's just a fake social currency that literally is just bred and valued based on belief and fear. Where it's like, oh, anything I say, you know, is going to be completely judged. It's so funny. People talk about, oh, we need to be more inclusive and accept other people's judgment and how they think differently, yet behaviors clearly show different. People are not willing to accept other ideas. They're only willing to accept ideas and statements from people they like, or if it's not who they like, it's going to be, they have to say the same things they do. Otherwise, they're always like, oh, well, if you say something, I'm going to unfollow you. Like, first of all, that doesn't mean anything.
Locked.
But people think that because they follow somebody, especially since it's free, you're not charging anybody for anything, that they're entitled to have a valuation of that. Where, oh, I gave you a sub, I gave you a follow, therefore I'm going to take it away and you're going to feel bad for it. And the thing is, some people give them power for that. Some people give power to something like, oh no, don't sub me, or oh no, my follower numbers went down. They're afraid of that. And because of that, they're giving power to other people over this, again, this fake social currency. It's the same way when, in just real life, where if you let somebody be like, you're wearing that shirt or that brand of thing, if you actually legitimately care about this random stranger's opinion of nonsense like that, then you are giving them power unnecessarily. And social media is literally no different. Cyberbullying has not changed. People only like to hear what they want to hear. And if they're that shallow, that's fine.
Oh, a coat of arms. It might help Mr. Holmes. I'll make a drawing of it.
But the difference is, like, for me, like, I don't give a shit
Expensive stuff.
about, hey, how's it going, Pixels? I don't give a shit about what other people do or don't like about my media, because as far as I'm concerned, again, I've used this example so many times, but it's still true. It's like, motherfucker, I've come from 7 years of middle management in retail. You know, I've survived hundreds of hostile customers, hungry, selfish people who have nothing better to do than to be extravagant, wasteful, disrespectful, especially around holiday time, ironically. And so I've seen absolutely the worst of people come out. And you know what? There's literally nothing you can say to me over the internet when all you have is this weak-ass social currency that will actually impact me. Because at least then I was paid for it. But now it's like, okay, oh, you're gonna say some mean words about me on the internet, whatever. It's not like you're actually in my face. Get over yourself. And so I don't empower people to have any power over me. But at the same time, one of the things I would have liked to have done is, boy, it would have been nice to have a nice discussion. And then, wouldn't you know it, the internet's a completely useful place for that in most social media formats, because it's ironic. In a chat room, you have the least opportunity to actually have a chat. because nobody wants to have a discussion, because it requires patience, understanding, and compromise. And most people don't have the time for that. So if you want to hear, and I told you, it's like if you want to have an echo chamber of just subscribing to people that repeat everything you think you want to hear about yourself or what your beliefs to reinforce it, to give yourself an even more closed-minded opinion of the world and things around it, because nobody says you have to like everything somebody else has, which is ironic because people think might makes right. It's like, oh, there's more people that do this thing. It doesn't actually mean anything. People think social media is something new. It's not. People as a species, you know, we combine socially all the time since ancient times. And let me tell you something. Social media has never accomplished anything. People who think that they do, people who wave hashtags around or spam likes and retweets or, you know, forwarding TikTok or Instagram messages, shit like that. It's like the fact that you think that you're creating, much less impacting change is hilarious to me, because that means in your vapid little world of inconsequential like words that's literally lip service, you think that actually causes change. You think you've actually changed somebody's hearts. It's nuts to me. But it's okay. It's okay. It's literally just hot air. And like a storm of hot air, it will pass. What am I missing here? Am I still supposed to leave, I think?
I can't leave yet. I'm not finished here.
I really don't see what else I could do. What else am I missing? Okay, so those windows haven't been
I
checked
can't
out.
see what's inside.
I'm missing something.
I can't see what's inside.
Yeah, the fact that they make people afraid to express themselves in an honest fashion is such hypocrisy. Because they're like, oh, this is a free platform, you know, people can say whatever they want. No, people can only say what's trending. That's what you're allowed to say. Mob rule is social media. And yeah, I've met some interesting people through there, but at the same time, it's like, that's not how I really ever want to interact or meet with anybody.
It's too dangerous to enter.
Where am I supposed to go with this kid? I'm literally walking around in circles. I'm doing the hermit hustle because I can't see or take a look at anything. What the hell am I supposed to be doing?
I can't see what's inside.
I didn't miss a clue here, did I? It was green. Okay. But yeah, that's my mini rant on how dumb and useless social media is. It really is just a toxic cesspool. Oh, that was the window I was supposed to go through. So, whatever. It's my own fault. Potatoes.
Do only 2 people live here? I wish one was me.
Is there another clue?
Bags of food. I like this house. Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Okay, I guess that was it. It's so funny to me when people, especially on social media, another thing that irritates me is they almost want to be like, you're only, it's like, I subscribe to you for this reason, therefore you are only allowed to talk about this thing. It's like, I can talk about whatever I want. I'm a person too. It's nuts to me how incredibly asinine people are online. Examine the item brought by Wiggins.
Wiggins did a good job.
Alright, search archives for something that has 2 lion heads, 3 crosses, and a dove, I guess. Oh, well, there it is. First try, coat of arms. It's a pretty good drawing, honestly.
Here it is. So this man could be Lord Marsh. Huh. A lord
Yeah,
who
Pixels,
lives
if you never jumped in,
house.
one of the things I love to
Let's
do
pay a
in
visit
between
to
games
Lord
is play a
Marsh.
chill game.
We'll pretend
And one of my
that
favorite
we're
things to
interested in his
do for
charitable
chill games
activities.
is puzzles or mysteries. And I know this, but I actually love playing especially Sherlock Holmes mysteries. And this is the most recent one that came out a few years ago, and playing it right now.
Oh, just
They're not
ask
exactly
him to
high
wait.
budget games, but
Afraid
the
that
writing's
won't be
good.
Possible. This young lady refuses to wait for anything.
What?
Father!
Caitlin!
Miss Caitlin's boarding school was flooded. Everyone was sent home.
As if it could smell any mustier.
My word, how is it possible that you have grown up so fast?
You'll be staying. Wherever will we put you?
Holmes, I'll give her my room, of course.
What do you have to say, Kate?
You're on a new case. A respectable lady who's being blackmailed? Or is it a love story between a prince and a suffragist?
However did
Hey
you...
Sangi, how are you?
You will tell me, won't you, Father?
Only if our lives are in danger.
All right then. Have fun. I'll go and unpack. Will you help me, Mrs. Hudson?
Gotta pet the dog.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
Alright, so let's see what kind of clues we have so far. Lord Marsh is the person who's been handing out jobs. He hangs out with a dude in his house. He provides... Okay. We don't know who George is. It's not the victim. No, George is the victim. John is somebody else that's missing. But I'm doing well. So far it's being an okay. I was just complaining recently about how stupid social media is right now and how it's frustrating me to the point where I don't even want to open up literally anything. I've limited my social media to just Twitter over the years because I felt everything else is just a distraction and dumb. And even now, just Twitter is just an insufferable toxic cesspool. It doesn't matter where you go. It's just, It's so full of just mundane, asinine, just noise. Noise, honestly, just noise. And it's not even noise, it's just noise. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yeah, social media just being itself. But honestly, I'm like, you know, if it just keeps up like this, I'm gonna be like, all right, after this next video, I'm just leaving. I won't close any accounts, but just the insane amount of idiocy going around. Just people shouting at each other, left, right, and center, waving around nonsense. Nobody's actually having a discussion. Everybody's just shouting, but everybody thinks that solves things, anything. And it's just so annoying. It's like I'm just surrounded by a madhouse of idiots. And the thing is, like, I'm the biggest fool of all because I can just choose to just leave it. And so I do.
A map of London and its surroundings.
Okay, let's see. Let's go check out Marsha's house. Get some clues. It really bothers me how Watson is younger for some reason. It looks like he lost like 20 pounds. He looks good. Looks like he's been hitting the gym. Yeah, I wish I could tell you why my internet is so erratically bad, but on some nights it plays nice and some nights it just doesn't. And I couldn't tell you why. All I can do is reset it and hope for the best. It makes playing multiplayer a gamble, for sure. Facebook has, to me, been a waste of space.
Let's get outside before I get caught.
She has grown up, hasn't she? Don't you think it's time to tell her?
To tell her what, Watson?
Well, about her father.
Never. Absolutely never. Do you hear me?
Holmes, you were responsible for the death of her father. You owe her the truth. She is old enough now.
I would lose her. Can't you see that? She must never know, Watson. Is that clear?
Holmes.
It won't and can't happen.
Yeah, Facebook to me, I've only left Facebook open to check my friends' baby pictures.
Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside
Because that's the only place where he posted. I'm like, you know, you can just, you know, leave it somewhere else. That way I can watch it. It's like, no, I'm only posting on Facebook. That's where my family is. I'm like, fine. Because I'm a good friend. I will look and comment on your baby pictures. But I literally don't do anything else with it. I don't even know the last time I've ever even done it. If the stream's laggy pixels, I apologize. There's literally nothing I can do about that. I already reset the internet once, and at least it's somewhat stable now. I do apologize for the stream quality.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes.
Gentlemen.
Let's get outside
Welcome
before I
to
get
my
caught.
home. How may I help you?
There is a glitch in the audio.
My name is Sherlock Holmes.
Because when I'm moving through the door,
Dr. Watson.
it's saying the urchins, I need to get outside before I get caught. I wonder if that's going to happen with every single door now. Inadvertently, I think I've discovered a glitch. This guy's red eyes. Lack of sleep? I mean, maybe, but wouldn't you have red...
Let's get outside before I get caught.
Oh my god. I've just discovered an audio bug. The kid won't shut up. He's not even here. It's a ghost child following me. Let's see. Feels unwell. Let's go with that. Because that's one of the options down there. So if you guys have never played a Sherlock Holmes game before, what you got to do is you have to profile people first. Gain clues from that. And from that, you're going to use it when you're discussing things with them to compare it against information they provide, which may or may not be
Time to report to
consistent
Mr.
with what
Holmes.
they have.
Let's get outside before I get caught.
I mean, if he feels unwell, then he's ill. He's rich. Makes sense. Clips his
Time to
fingernails.
report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
If that happens, which I think it might, I am going to restart this game because I will not have this kid every minute remind me. Alright, so he's taking painkillers. That reinforces that he's sick. Sick? Yo, bullshit. He's sick of social media like me. So we're profiling 2 people at once. Oh wait, hold on.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Lord Collins and Lord Marsh were having a meeting, but Lord Marsh is sick. That's clearly a personal assistant. He's also a doctor. Or something.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Let's see. I feel that seems consistent.
I hope we're not disturbing you. You are with your physician?
Yes, this is Dr. Reuben Fisher. But no, please, I'm intrigued by your visit, Mr. Holmes.
I'm glad to hear it. The last thing I'd wish is to upset the patient. Lord Marsh, can I just say that I admire all of your efforts in assisting the poor of London? Time to report to Mr.
Yes.
Holmes.
Let's
It
get
is a
outside
war that
before I
we
get
must
Oh my god,
fight
this kid.
on our streets.
This ghost
an hour
child.
too from my home. You must surely have noticed those bags full of items, clothing and books for the unfortunate.
That is inspirational. At my own humble level, I too try my best to support those in need. I thought perhaps that I could be of some assistance.
I don't see why not. I already have the valuable assistance of Dr. Fisher, who happens to be my personal physician.
It's curious. Your face seems familiar to me,
Time to report to
Doctor.
Mr. Holmes. Let's get
Oddly,
outside
I'm
before I get caught.
associating it with Whitechapel?
Well done. You are right. I do occasionally frequent a few hostelries over there, would you believe it? Not that I am a drinker. But there, dressed as a working man, I can approach the other fellows to see if they might be interested in a special job.
A special job? May I ask what you're referring to?
Certainly. Since Lord Marsh began his special education program in 1889, he foresaw that such people would need an occupation of some kind. And so, with or without education, we propose these opportunities to work with Lord
Time to
Marsh.
report to Mr. Holmes.
It offers the
Let's
less
get outside
fortunate a
before I
chance
get
to help
caught.
make London a better place.
That's remarkable.
Yes, indeed. In order to truly see, one requires vision, yes? But also insight.
Okay,
And
so
Lord Marsh has believed
this guy's
this since he was a
immediately
child.
suspicious.
Oh, Dr. Fisher makes it all sound so romantic. Let's close this topic.
So, right away, the fact that he's like, oh, we provide special jobs and opportunities. First of all, was he the guy who was in disguise, maybe? Because where's the man with the chops? Why did he go to this location,
Time to
and where
report
did
to
he
Mr.
go?
Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
So, I think the doctor's pretending to be somebody else. Actually, I don't remember the face of the guy. However, I think that he's that the missing people's case of that lady who's missing, or the kid's missing dad that's been missing for 3 weeks, I think they're doing weird medical experiments on him to help this rich guy. I think he's experimenting with the poor. I think.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Okay, real fast. We're gonna finish
Forgive
this.
me, Lord Marsh. You're looking very pale. Might I offer Dr. Watson's assistance?
That is kind of you. But I feel confident that I can provide Lord Marsh with the care
What's he
that
actually
requires.
sick with, though?
How long have you been like this, my lord?
I'm fine, Dr. Watson. Don't fuss. It's only influenza. I'll be better in a few days. I can feel it already.
First of all, if it was influenza, you would be in bed and you would not be anywhere near as cheerful as you are right now. Anyone who's had the flu would know. Also, he doesn't have the symptoms for it, but he has painkillers.
Let's get outside.
In that case, why are you taking such powerful painkillers?
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Mr. Holmes is referring to the pills on your table.
I'm sorry, but that's a medical confidentiality.
Yep, awfully suspicious. Okay, real fast. Is this thing autosave? I hope. We're gonna leave and come back because I'm tired of the ghost child saying that he needs to report to Mr. Holmes. Yeah, I know, but this kid, he just needs to report to Mr. Holmes. It's like it echoes in my mind. Okay, good. Brought me back here. It better not be saying that again. If that's a glitch for this entire case, I'm gonna be so mad.
Lord Marsh even helps hospitals.
If there's a butchery or anything like that where he gets rid of bodies, that means this dude is immediately sketch.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes.
Oh my
Let's get
fucking
outside
god.
before I get caught.
I can't believe there's a glitch in the game like
It appears
this.
that Lord Marsh spent a great deal of his money on aiding the poor.
I cannot believe this glitch is gonna keep going on.
Locked.
Why do I always find the most amazing glitches in games?
Bags full of food. Aid for the paupers of Lambeth Workhouse. Humanitarian aid for an orphanage.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Get used to this, guys. I really hope that that's not for the entire game. That we do not have Ghost Urchin tell me that he needs to report to Mr. Holmes.
Lord Marsh hunting with his friends.
Ah,
Which
my
one's Lord
dear
Marsh?
comrades, Lord Collins and Lord Harrington. If it wasn't for this
Time to report to
godforsaken
Mr.
English
Holmes.
malady,
Let's
I'd
get
be with
outside
those
before I get caught.
rapscallions right now.
All in due time, my lord.
Oh my god. Okay, that was a clue though. There's another clue here. Ooh, John Strobridge is actually one of the missing folks from that first letter. I don't recognize the other ones, but I recognize that name.
Time to report to Mr.
John
Holmes. Let's
Strobridge.
get
I've
outside
seen
before I
this
get
name
caught.
before. It was on a missing persons poster.
Yep. Collins and Harrington. He's saying he has the flu, which is not true. Okay, so apparently doctors did say that he was openly disguising himself. That still seems super sketch to me. Like, if all your jobs are on the up and up, then why would you disguise yourself? If you're just helping the poor. Apparently there's something else I can pick up. No. Why is this? There it is.
Thanks to Lord Marsh and the special education program, a great many poor people will have a second chance in life.
It's like a regular New Deal.
I can't quite work it out. Do you have any idea as to the number of people who might owe you their lives?
Oh, don't embarrass me, Mr. Holmes. But indeed, these people have become like a family to me.
That would be a fairly large family, I imagine.
Yes, the list would be longer than any of your short stories. As for how large, well, Fisher is the one who keeps record.
Might we take a glance at the list?
I regret that is impossible. It is confidential. I stand firm upon that point, Mr. Holmes.
I quite understand.
Time to report
We'll
to
most
Mr. Holmes.
certainly
Let's
send
get
a
outside
donation
before I
towards
get
your
caught.
educational program. I shall take my leave then. I thank you both and I wish you all the very best, gentlemen.
Likewise, Mr. Holmes.
Guys, report to Mr. Holmes.
I'm intrigued by the special education program.
I like how they spell things even the British way.
I've never seen so many provisions for the poor, and certainly not in a lord's house.
Is there something else that interests you?
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Lord Marsh believes that he can help all these poor people.
A provision dealing with the paupers of Whitechapel. It's extremely honourable to devote one's whole life to assisting the poor.
Okay, so we apparently have clues that we could still do here. Alright, so he has new dialogue. Hold on. George first mentioned something about this to his son, Tom.
Despite my title, yes. I have to share my home with these bags full of food for the poor.
Oh, you know what? I probably have to go to the kid and talk to him about his dad. Are we still up? Are we still somewhat consistent? I apologize again for my Wi-Fi. I really wish there was something more I could do. Ooh, we have deductions now? Good. Alright, let's connect some deductions. Really? The missing people are not connected to the special job? How are they not connected to the special job? Alright. Nope. So in order to make deductions to pin the case on someone, you have to connect logical deductions based on the evidence you've gained so far. The good news is that you can actually kind of brute force it, because if you select the wrong thing, it doesn't penalize you. It's just it doesn't go anywhere. All right, so special job, and it tells you like, okay, here's it. Whoa, there's a lot of deductive things here. When you see that silhouette, it kind of shows you what you're looking at. And when you have splits like this, it means that you have to make a choice based on what you think, and the case can go one way or another based on, okay, well, I think this is more likely versus this is more likely. And they can be as innocent or as gray. Nothing's very black and white here. It's a good mental exercise. So do we think the special job is connected with the special education program? I think it is, personally, so I'm going to go on that. It doesn't lead necessarily anywhere right now, and you can actually even change it if you want to. And you can see your logic goes in a different direction. Alright, the reason why I think they're connected is because one of the people that's missing, he was part of that special education program. Alright, so the fact that Marsh is part of the hunting club. Well, Sangi, not everybody plays, adventure games or, solving games. I personally love it, but to me, part of the fun is also like thinking it out, talking out loud and kind of walking your way through, because you might be surprised, Sangi, or Letty or anybody listening, that if you just kind of think about it, just, rub your brain cells together a little bit, you may surprise yourself how much you can take a logical conclusion from A to B and be like, this makes sense versus this making sense. We'll make a detective out of you yet. Alright, so the special job is not connected to any of our current clues. Hunting club is also not connected to any of our clues. Okay, so our current clues right now don't have anything to do with each other, so we need more evidence. So stuff like this is why I loved, like, Danganronpa or Ace Attorney or anything like that. Even Virtue's Last Reward. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I love it. This wasn't here before. Danganronpa.
Mr. Holmes,
it's not just about anime kids killing each other. It's also a mystery game.
I wanted to ask you if you remember your father mentioning anything about a special education program.
An education program? No, he only talked about a special job.
What's this box, Tom?
Oh yeah, I just found it, Mr. Holmes. It was ever so well hidden. I've no idea why.
Well done, my boy. It could prove very helpful.
There's probably going to be something in there that's causing the dude's disease, and he's testing it on poor people. Well, I don't know about anything like this. Sewing machine oil?
This oil can also be used on weapons.
Oh. Actually, isn't this used to load a gun?
A ramrod to clean a rifle.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's evidence. That's the hunting club.
Wolfjack. Looks like a military badge. Tom, does your father own a rifle?
A rifle? No. If he had, he would have shown it me.
I'm sure that he wouldn't have shown it you. I need to find this rifle.
If I were a gun, where would I be? These stains bother me. Go, Detective Vision.
This scrap of cloth was used to oil a firearm. Tom, does your father have any other property?
No. Well, at least I don't think so.
I have to take Toby. He'll take a sniff of the oil, and we'll find that rifle.
Shit, okay. So whenever that happens, you have to go back now and get your dog. To me, stuff like this is puzzle solving, but it's puzzle solving alongside a story. You know? That's the thing I love about these sort of things. Just like I love puzzle solving alongside, like, tomb raiding or adventure games, I do like puzzle solving alongside just colorful music, or puzzle solving alongside colorful characters, or at least interesting writing. That's what I like. To me, that's how I relax. That's how I chill out. Puzzles. Love that sort of stuff. Whenever you have a week where you just feel like this past week, where it's like, oh, I just feel so mad or angry or powerless. Sometimes you're getting in your own head, and you're getting in your own head for the wrong reasons, so get in your head for the right reasons. Solve a mystery. Fetch Toby, and then go to his house. There we go. Sometimes it's good to review the evidence too, just in case there are other logical conclusions. And we need to also search our archives to find out what this military badge is all about. It's also a deer. The golden deer, so there's a Fire Emblem reference. Badges. This is a lot easier than the last game. The last game, it was so esoteric to try to find the right article to go with the right evidence. They literally made it so obvious now. Wolfjack is half wolf, half jackrabbit. Wolf jackets. British Army's first marksman unit.
Here it is.
So are military people part of that hunting club? Those old lords? Alright, doggo, let's go.
Come on, Toby. It's time for you to earn your keep.
They used to have the dog sniffing minigame, and I kind of didn't like that, so I wonder if they're still going to bring that back.
I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health.
+1 dog gained.
I have better things to do than roam the streets of London with
I like dogs, but I wouldn't personally want a breed that has very loose skin. I don't know why, but it kind of freaks me out. Because like when you pet them or rub them, it's like they have so many folds of skin, it's kind of weird to me. It's like, this is so fleshy. It's so weird. I still love the dog, but not my personal favorite breed. I like the furry ones, you know, if it's like a long hair or a straight hair ones, I like a dog with a coat. To be a dog with a nice coat was nice. It's like, oh, but they can shed. I'm like, well, so do you. People shed all the time, so I'm willing to deal with it. Yep, they brought back the dog minigame. I don't know, first I have to get the scent. Oh, they add music to it now. How comical. This dog can open doors. At least they made it a little bit easier to look at, because before they made it yellow and it was hard to see because, yes, yellow holds up against dark, but at the same time light reflections would make it hard to see, especially if you were in daylight. So I'll take this weird green. That part looks a little bit better. Hi, Money Black Mage. We are currently a dog. Oh, look at splits. Aren't they clever? Alright, we'll take this. Aw, man. Splits between splits. At least this isn't timed. That would make the whole experience miserable. This is a dead end, isn't it? Yeah, unless they buried it with the vegetables. No. Okay, that was a dead end. Oh wait, the kid. He's not talking anymore. I think the glitch fixed itself. We don't have to go report to Mr. Holmes anymore. I just not noticed it. Yes! The ghost urchin child is gone. I was so concerned that was going to be a game-wide problem. Actually, I really hope that when we go back to Mr. Marsh's estate, it doesn't kick up again. Oh, look. How convenient. And the kid's dad has...
Nothing that could interest me.
Okay, so this is not his shed. This is like a waterworks kind of deal. Still, there's a lot of shit down here. Why don't they just live here? It's literally better than paying rent.
Storage.
Yeah, you could literally live in the cellar, and I don't think anybody would bother you. Why pay 5 shillings a month? Yeah, it's a little bit wet, but, you know, whatever.
Just some old things. It's not here.
Keeping your gun in such a wet area is probably pretty bad.
Tom's photograph. Let's try to get inside.
Oh, okay. So they changed the lockpick minigame. I don't know. I kind of like the last one, the way the game did it. All right, let's see how this one works. What the hell am I doing? Oh, okay. I kind of understood in motion. This game isn't explaining its mechanics very well, and they're using new mechanics. But we figured it out. First try. What am I looking at here?
A map of Epping Forest.
So we have a map of a forest that's been added to our evidence. Anytime you see that little evidence icon light up, pay attention because that means it's important. Dear George, I do understand you when it's so sad. Same as you, I can't find a job. Not even the smallest thing. My children have nothing to eat. When I try to find anything, the bosses just say they don't want wounded people working for them. Our military service means nothing. Our country used us in war, but now it has abandoned us. Nobody cares. Relatable tale. So George used to be military, and that's what he used to be, a marksman. He has a gun. But the doctor's also part of a hunting club. See, part of me wonders if he's hiring these military guys to shoot something. But then what does that have to do with him being sick and hiding that? That's the part that's so weird to me right now, is that the dude's sick and he's trying to hide it. And he's hiring military marksmen for something in this forest.
This case must have been full of cartridges. There was something on the stand. News clippings on Lords and the education program. Why are they here?
Alright, so we already know about those three. And they were part of a hunting club together. You tell him if you're reading this letter, then it means I'm dead. I'm so sorry that things had to end up this way, but I had no other choice. You have to know that. You are a very smart boy, and I'm so proud of you. I hope one day you'll understand and you'll forgive me. Son, I love you so much. Don't despair. Try to be happy, for you'll grow up to be a man someday, and sooner than you think. You won't be alone. Me and your mom, will be looking over you from heaven. Okay, so he wrote a note knowing he was going to die. Why would he know that he was going to die?
Let's compare this list with the evidence that we found earlier. This is the list of selected participants for October's special education program. According to this poster, John Strobridge is missing. Let's compare them with people from Hearst documents.
I think it's funny they alphabetize them based on their first name and not their last name. Oh, those British folk. Not using the alphabet right. Alright. There's John Strobridge. And I'm guessing the X means he... Actually, what does the... Why does it say S? Group S. Are those like tier listings? Is he S tier? Was John S tier? And does that X mean he was taken out? I mean, October 17th matches up with the date. There's Patrick Tanner. Reginald Staple. Yeah.
This man appears in both documents.
Yep, every single one of them. So the S tier guys are probably missing too.
All the people in Marsh's document are marked and
So we have a bunch of S tier guys. It's clear that Mr. Marsh is in charge of these guys disappearing. But Group S though, were those all the former military guys? They might have been. Huh. Also, feel free, this, to me, anytime I play a mystery game on stream, it's a group activity, so if anybody has any ideas, feel free to, like, say something. Because sometimes I've solved something with the help of somebody from chat where I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right, this clue connects to this thing. You don't have to solve it for me, and I definitely don't want any answers. We solve this organically. I'm not looking at any playthroughs online. We never get stuck. We solve this together. Okay, so it's very clear that the Wolfjacks and the rest of them, they're dead. They're all missing and they're probably dead. They're probably dead in that forest. But why? So with any mystery, you have to deduce the means, the motive, and the opportunity. Means to me seems like gunfire. I mean, everybody's all about guns here. Opportunity, though, seems to be in some relation to this opportunity, this work opportunity job. But what's the motive? Oh, look, we have a deduction. Alright, so we have something in our detective vision that we're missing, and we also apparently have a motive. Or we have a logical connection. Why is it telling me there's something I could view here? What on earth are you looking at, Sherlock Holmes? Something on the ground? Alright. Alright, so we got a bunch of clues now. He was wounded during his duty at the British Army. I'm going to connect that with a wound. Yep. Really? Connect that to missing? Nope, does not connect. Interesting. Special job for missing? Yeah, so he knew. Alright, so there's a chance that George wrote the farewell letter, but the reason his son doesn't have it is because he's still alive and missing somewhere. Versus this logical option where George Hurst knew he wasn't coming back, therefore he wrote the farewell letter to Tom, which is kind of what we were thinking anyway. But then I think he left that key with his son because I think he figured his son would open this room and read that letter for himself. So I'm going to say that George knew he was going to die and he left that there. He knew he wasn't coming back and he knew he left that key with his son. In fact, that's probably the reason why we're not finding the gun. It's probably because he has the gun wherever he is. Let's see what else we got. Newspaper article. Let's see. Special job? Nope. Missing? Nope. I didn't think it would go over there too. Okay, so that's not it. Alright, so nothing else connects. So in this room, there's something else we're missing. Where? What else? I don't see anything else. What on earth is the game trying to... Oh, hold on. Oh, here we go. It wanted me to do left bumper. I kept hitting right bumper. I'm an idiot.
George Hurst took it with him.
Yes, that's exactly what I deduced too. His gun's with him. See? We're figuring it out before the game does. This is how we get mysteries solved. We also have Pauper's list now. Alright, so we prepare for the special job. Yep. Pauper's list of those who are missing. Yep, connected that. Easy. Interesting that nothing's coming together just yet. Oh, you know what? The S could just stand for Special Education Program. I didn't think about that. I think we already tried all these. Actually, no. Pauper list? No. Oh, it connects to newspaper. Ooh, okay, so we have a connecting point here now. So this is a potential motive right here. George Hurst was interested in the special education program, but nothing else. But we also could have where George Hurst knew about the special education program and was looking into something himself. I mean, he collected information. So it's probably that. Probably. Okay, so according to that, if George Hurst special job and the special education program are connected, which I'm pretty sure they are. And if George Hurst knew about it, and he knew that they were all missing, then that means, yes, he knew some of the people that had gone missing. I'm willing to bet that that's true. And it probably connects to the marksman unit that we have. We're missing a connection here. But yeah, there's something over there that connects this, and it's probably somebody Mr. Hurst knew. In fact, it's probably that John guy who sent him the letter and suggested the job. Come to think of it. Okay. Oh, so now we have an action point here where we can sneak into his house. Let's do that. Tactical stealth action. By the way, speaking of Metal Gear, for espionage action, it's interesting. I didn't realize that and I guess I should have known because I have the Metal Gear Legacy collection. And Metal Gear 1 and 2, I always knew that Snake's Revenge was non-canon by both Metal Gear and Kojima's timeline, but I didn't realize that the version of Metal Gear Solid, or just, I'm not Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear, the version of Metal Gear that was on the NES is actually a non-canon version versus the, what is it, the MCX or MSX, whatever that other computer console video game thing was that came out so long ago. That version is actually the more canon entry. Apparently, the NES one retells some story elements that make it non-canon. I'm so curious because I actually have Metal Gear for NES, and that's one that I actually played. I don't remember it 100%, but I'm super curious. What are the differences between that and the MSX version that makes it so different that one's canon and one's not? All right, let's sneak in this fucker's house. You know, it's funny, everybody in Discord talking about food, and I'm like, man, making me hungry.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Holmes, what are you doing here? What are you
Motherfucker.
planning?
A mission of my own. You must play the role of the conscientious doctor while I sneak inside Marsh's house. That's the only way of helping little Tom.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside.
Oh my god. This area is glitched. This area is glitched. Motherfucker. God damn it. Okay, so we have a ghost child that's telling us we have to report to Mr. Holmes. How can I get this guy to not talk?
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
The window is firmly shut.
It's time to report to Mr. Holmes, guys. Let's get outside before we get caught. Okay. So now I get it. The notches that you see, like this number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, are the amount of notches you see that we have to overcome. This is actually really simple. So like this one's a 1. And then this one's a 2.
There's no space for this lockpick. There's no space.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Wait.
There's no space for this lockpick.
Oh, we have to manually remove it? That is so dumb. That is so unnecessarily tedious, but alright. That is way easier than the last game. Last game you had to solve like a 3D spinning line puzzle. It was weird.
I came to visit Lord Marsh.
What for?
I would very much like to see Lord Marsh, if you please.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Just smacks that off the table. Oh, I actually smacked something off the table myself.
Lord Marsh and offer him my services.
I'm telling you,
Please allow
I need to
Dr.
report to
Watson
Mr.
enter.
Holmes. So let's go outside before we get caught. Whoa, 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 man, chill out. Man, Watson's not afraid to wreck a house.
Lord Marsh is a keen hunter.
Man, he shot a lot of things. I wonder if one of these rifles is... No, he wouldn't keep the dead man's rifle. There's something missing here, though. Dear Diary, today I shot a bunch of people in the
Time to report
forest.
to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
You do that, kid. Why can I not move this in any which way? On a yellow post-it note, which seems very anachronistic. Thank you so much for this, Mr. Marsh. I picked you this flower. Cool. Thanks, kid. Oh, here we go. Alright, so it's Collins and Harrington are the two other lords that he goes hunting with, and so clearly he's still in correspondence with Mr. Collins. It's clear to me we can learn a great many things about running the Empire from those whom we trample underfoot. These same people whom we leave destitute and starving in the shadows of our own cities, at home or abroad. I think publicly Mr. Marsh is a nice guy, but I can't help but notice he likes killing things. Again, his sickness is so weird to me. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I had to check the thing I knocked over earlier. I'm like, oh shit, I should probably check on that. So, I did. Everything's cool. Okay. We're still getting the thing. Oh, here we go.
I can hide here.
From what? Alright, there's something. Painting. It's gotta be wall safe. Yep, it's always a wall safe. Every single game there's always a wall safe.
Doctor, it appears that you were impatient to pay me another visit.
Indeed. Will you
Time to
allow me
report
to
to Mr.
examine
Holmes.
you?
Let's
A
get
second
outside.
Indeed. Will you allow me time to
Lord
report to
Marsh
Mr. Holmes?
the late
We need to go
Lord
outside before we get caught.
Well,
I have
since
no
you
idea
put
what he
it
just
that
said
way,
because of that
very
goddamn
well.
ghost kid.
Shall I retire to your
Fuck.
office, Lord Marsh?
No, please, Doctor. I insist that you stay. I shall need your
It's not terrible enough that the kid talks
break anything
over
else?
everyone else that's
I'll
talking.
try my best.
The ghost kid also has his subtitles also go over everyone else's subtitles and it interrupts it, so I have no idea what they just said. Actually, I think there's a chat log.
Mr. Holmes? What
Time
are you
to
doing
report to
here?
Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside.
Mr.
before I get
Holmes? It's time to report to Mr. Holmes. Oh my god. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to
Will you
check my
break
book.
anything else?
I'll try my best.
I'm supposed to hide. I get it.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here?
I know I was caught. That's on
Will
me.
you break anything else?
I'll try
Time to
my
report
best.
to Mr. Holmes. Let's
We
get
break anything
outside
else,
before I get
I'll
caught.
try to report to Mr. Holmes. It's kind of funny how comical that is. Please let that glitch only be on this one case, on this one house. I almost want to have a counter for every time that ghost kid speaks up. Hey, this is your bi-minutely check-in for if you've reported to Mr. Holmes yet.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Rotate the safe dial and locate the... Oh, damn it, the instructions go way too quickly.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Like, what am I looking for here? I do not understand it. I do not understand this minigame. The instructions disappeared way too quickly.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Oh, that was big there. Hold on. There we go. It's probably 10. Yeah, it's probably 10. It's left, right, left, isn't it? With safes? I forget.
Time to report
Left.
to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
How the hell? Okay, so the first one's 10. Oh, here we go. We have to confirm it. How do I move?
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
think this is where the loudest thing is. Okay, there we go.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
It's 22. Okay. $14. There we go. Alright, that was not a fun minigame. Just saying right now. The problem I have is that this game tells us that it is going way too fast. Hey, Nano. Welcome to Sunday Squad.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
You're coming at a decent time when, in the beginning we had really rough internet hang-up issues. So far we're investigating some missing poppers. And it's definitely this dude, Lord Marsh, who's sketch, but we're trying to figure out why and how they're missing. And also what's up with the sickness. Lord Harrington, why would they lock up this letter of sarcasm from Lord Harrington?
November 7th. This means that the meeting is planned for today.
Dark, what are you even doing at work? Don't you have a curfew to obey or something? Grunston's Oak. Oh, there's a map right there. Alright. Other than that, this is very similar to Crimes and Punishment. Here's the thing though, Nano. Crimes and Punishment had way better detailing of faces and textures than this game, and this game is more recent, and that's just weird to me, that they put more effort in the last game than they did in this game. I'm hoping that means they put more effort into the crimes themselves and the writing versus the actual visuals. Oh, they stopped curfew on Thursdays? Oh, okay. Alright, so we need to search archives for Grunston's Oak. Okay, the good thing we have dialogue logs though, so we can at least figure out what the heck happens. Okay, so we finished sneaking in at Lord Marsh's house. Can we call it a day? Can we not? Oh, why am I still saying that we still haven't fully explored the kid's house?
I have to finish my search of the office. I have to finish my search of the office.
Okay.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
I've also, like I tend to do, I found a very curious glitch where for some reason during this one sneaking mission where he plays an urchin sneaking around his house, he says, you know, at the very end of it, hey, we need to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before we get caught. And for some reason on this level, it is stuck on that dialogue every other minute. So every other minute I have that kid's dialogue come up and be like, I need to report to Mr. Holmes.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
I'd suggest that your current weakness is perhaps more than a simple case of influenza, Lord Marsh.
Where might your companion be, Dr. Watson?
He's got the
He's
tuberculosis.
busy poking his nose into other people's business, I'm sure.
Yoink.
Time to report to Mr. Holmes.
My lord, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must remind you about your meeting.
Is it already time? My apologies, Dr. Watson, but we are expected elsewhere. Might we offer you a lift?
You are going out. I'm not sure that's wise in your condition.
I value your opinion, but misery never rests, and I am needed.
Well, do please take good care of yourself, Lord Marsh. I'll send you my diagnosis, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Farewell.
Alright, let's open new deductions. Let's see what we've got. Hi, do we have any new clues? We have no new actually, yeah, we do. Connected to the hunting club. Easy. Also, Pixels, are you in chat right now still? Do British people spell skillful with one L? It's hard for me to tell with Old English, because they add E's to the end of things like program, so I don't know what's considered British and what's considered not. Nano, you'll notice the detail difference when we start examining faces. The faces in the last game, I vocally noted that, holy crap, these are really detailed faces. I can't believe this is a small-time indie studio. And this time I look at it, I'm like, ooh, this looks less, like, I don't know, significantly less detailed. I still think Mr. Hurst knows, and that's the reason why he had the information held aside. I think the fact that he's former marksman, former military, and these guys are hunters are related somehow. I think he's pitting the military guys against the hunters. But wait, that doesn't make sense either. Because why would a bunch of old sick hunters who like hunting animals hunt former military marksmen when they're also armed? That doesn't make any sense. We don't have enough evidence. Either way, Hurst knew he was going to die. So they were doing something where Hurst knows he was going to die, but he still took his gun. And he's up against hunters, a bunch of old-ass hunters, including one guy who's dying of tuberculosis. I don't see the connection just yet. Alright, that just means we need more evidence. We know where they're going to be, though.
Holmes, come here. This is serious.
Oh. It's tuberculosis.
Watson, what are you doing at my table?
It's my table.
I just need to check one thing about Lord Marsh.
Alright, this is gonna be a chemical minigame? Yeah, it's a chemical
intuition tells me
minigame.
that Lord Marsh is hiding something about his disease. His cough, in addition to his fever and his usage of strong painkillers, leads me to believe that he is seriously ill.
So
let's study it more closely. Sputum with tiny drops of blood. I could take a sample and examine it under the microscope. Let us apply chemicals to color the sample.
Which one? I don't think I want to soak it in acid, so let's try carbon. Are we cool?
This chemical should be applied third.
Oh. Okay. It's a lot less intuitive than the first one. Or not the first one, the last one.
Now, let's examine the colored sample under the microscope.
But you know, I'm not a forensic scientist like Watson. Also, one thing that really bothers me, Nano and Dark, you would recognize because you guys were both here during the last time we solved mysteries. Watson is all of a sudden like thin, well-toned, and younger. I'm like, is this a prequel? Because everyone else is older, but Watson is like 10 years younger and looks like he's been hitting the gym. It's really weird. Examined for different elements? What am I looking for? Okay, that probably looks pretty bad.
Mycobacterium. It appears that Lord Marsh is seriously ill.
It's a weird art design choice that everyone else looks more or less the same, but like Watson, like look, that's the Watson. I'm like, man, Watson looks younger and looks good, but
Yes,
so
I do
weird.
say. And Holmes, he will die if he is not transferred to a sanatorium as soon as possible.
And yet both Lord Marsh and Dr. Fisher are doing their best to hide this fact. How interesting.
But why?
Why indeed, Watson?
Oh, but... Oh, dear God. You don't think that Lord Marsh contracted tuberculosis while aiding the poor? How terrible. I have a commitment that I can't possibly cancel. Holmes, during my absence, please be extremely careful. This disease is highly contagious. And remember that we have women at home.
Think of the women. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm always thinking about women.
Thank you, Miss Alice. Until later.
I'll see you soon, Caitlin.
Where have you been?
Our neighbour lent me a book. She is so kind.
Dracula.
I think she likes you.
I doubt that.
How is your investigation going?
It's going. Dracula?
Yes, it's forbidden reading at my boarding school. Did you know?
Well, well.
And then Simon Belmont came and slayed Dracula. Yeah, that seems about right.
I can't wait to tell all my friends about this.
Alright, so let's go check out this. Under medicine, you think? Oops, exited out. Actually, I was thinking, like, can I just check this map here?
A map of London and its surroundings.
Nope, that's not the answer. It has to be here.
Be useful.
Well, I'm looking up Grunston's Oak. Grunston's Oak is where, in the safe, we found that he has an appointment to today. Sedate and kill. I think 3 Steps to Surviving a Waterfall was in the last game too. Alright, so let's go to medicine, like you said. Yeah, there's tuberculosis right there.
That's not the one I need.
That's not what we need. Oh, I wonder if 1887? One of these, I bet one of these newspapers has Grunston's Oak in it. Was there a date that we missed? There had to have been a date that we missed. James A. Garfield. Wasn't that our president? Hellenistic treasure stolen. That's the same one as the last game. That's funny.
That's not the one I need.
Ooh, new educational program.
That's not the one I
Nope. Okay, that's not it. No. There's a clue that I'm missing here. Malaria is spread by mosquitoes, guys. Alright, hold on. Search archives. We are. Grunston's Oak. But, like, I feel like we need a map, though. Alright, not there. Economics. Nope, never is. Technology. Nope. I think Why Not Dynamite was... I think some of these have recycled, because, like, I think I recognize that. History. No. Oh, here's Oak. Oh, there we go. Grunston's Oak. Okay. Would not have guessed that. Searching under botany. Sometimes you have to brute force these things. Some say there's witchcraft. Alright, so it could just be a witch. This is Scooby-Doo now.
Here it is.
The hell does this have to do with witchcraft?
Grunston's Oak is in Epping Forest. That's the place indicated on George Hurst's map.
Okay, yeah. But what did that gain me? Do I have a location now? Search the map. Map.
Let's try to find the place from the hand-drawn map.
I never liked this mini game. Reading maps is one of my weaknesses. I hate reading maps. I mean, we're looking for Epping's Forest, right? First and foremost, where's Epping's Forest? Wish I could zoom out. Man, how many trees can there be in England? Good lord. That sounded really stupid, I'm sorry. Oh, there's Grunston's Oak right there. I saw it right there.
Here it is. Drat. I'll need to hurry if I want to find out what's going on at the forest.
Father, that boy Wiggins, does he come here very often?
He helps occasionally in some of my cases. Why do you ask?
I'd like to talk to him.
Talk to him?
Father, back at school there are only girls to talk to, and they are so boring. I'm sure Wiggins has lots of exciting stories to tell about his life in London. It would be so romantic.
Alright, so as an adopted father, how do we deal with the fact that our young girl who went to a perfectly reasonable boarding school for girls is now interested in talking to a dirty street urchin who also keeps repeating his ghostly line in this other guy's manner? I'm not gonna be shocked. I would like to be reasonable. I don't want to be... I'm gonna be reasonable.
Caitlin, you know that Wiggins hasn't had the most fortunate life.
That only makes him more interesting.
God damn it, girl.
Oh, Kate.
I'll leave you alone now.
Did you kiss any boys while I'm out? Sherlock Holmes adopted this girl because he killed her father. Surely you heard the name Moriarty? His rival. So this girl is is Moriarty's actual daughter, and basically when Moriarty was, Sherlock Holmes basically got the dude killed, finally died, finally beat Moriarty. Moriarty basically his last dying wish was, "Yo, Holmes, take care of my daughter," and Holmes was like, "All right, I got you. Only because you're my arch rival." And that's what happened. Alright, so George Hurst, okay, knew about the meeting between Lord Marsh and his companions that took place in Epping Forest. What's this new conclusion? Wait, you don't suppose that George Hurst is alive and he's going to try to kill Marsh? But these hunters are over here and they're not doing anything. Something's weird. Something's very weird. Alright. Either way, we can only go to the forest. Oh, you can find gameplay or interface instructions by clicking in both sticks. Okay, that's actually probably going to be really useful because they flash the instructions only so briefly. Oh, doesn't just auto load. Okay, cool. Oh, this is the intro. Like I said, this was a cold open. And Lady's like, "Is that a pun?" I'm like, "It certainly is." Oh, shit. The fuck is the hunter? Serpentine patterns, serpentine, serpentine. Shit, this guy's like all over me. Fuck. Okay, I should have started running earlier, is what I should have done. You are dead. Should have a Dark Souls-like thing. Serpentine. This is an interesting minigame. Oh shit. Fuck, I did not realize there would be a bear trap. That is brutal. He's like, fuck. Do it. That was wrong? How was... Ugh. I would have jumped through those nettles. Fuck it. There's gonna be a bear trap right around here. Shit. He takes bullets pretty well. Oh, come on. Serpentine. This dude gains so much ground. Come on, Sherlock Holmes, where are your iframes? One thing I will say about this is that they're trying to have much more of a soundtrack, which was something that I noticed was missing in the previous few games. Don't tell me this was wrong. Okay, good.
Where is he?
Well, there's another motherfucker right there.
This man was killed recently. The body is still warm.
How warm? That looks pretty rough.
He was poor.
Find him, boys. Find him.
Poor sap, that's for sure. Ow, son of a bitch.
You won't get far.
Man, this dude is fast. Like, he gains so much ground compared to when... Actually, maybe that's a thing. Yeah, he has to stop to aim the gun. So when I see it, if I jump behind cover at the right moment, I think I can gain... Yeah, I can gain some stamina while he... Shit, that was a... Damn it! It's hard to tell, like, they're like, this side's blocked, so I'm like, let me go to the other side. Ah. I'm glad the checkpoints are generous, because that is not intuitive, which looks like the better option. Ow. They're trying to do something new, at least. You know, I'm not gonna slide them on that. Look at this shit right here. Like, only until you commit do you actually see one thing versus the other. Feels like a coin flip sometimes. Alright, Sherlock.
I like to
The swamp of despair. Cloud, shall I give you despair? Sephiroth. Oh, well shit. That's actually one of my horrible, horrible things. Okay, while in cover to reveal safe paths. Okay, that's good to know. They don't last very long. We're gonna go straight down the middle. See how that works for us. I'm gonna take this chance. I think following these weeds will do it. So who the fuck is chasing us? Is it Lord Harrington? I love that meme where it's like, shall I give you despair? It's like Sephiroth just holding up a pear. I don't know why, but I find that funny. Oh shit. I wasn't sure if the boat was safe. I wasn't paying attention. Damn it. Oh, okay. Actually, this is a really generous checkpoint. I appreciate that. Because this is not super intuitive. Ow, son of a bitch. Oh, come on. I followed the weeds. You know what? I will say this, though. We've been at this for like 3 hours, and we're still in the first case. This is lasting a lot longer than the first game already. Granted, it's being spread out with weird shit like this, but you know, whatever. Alright, so here, and then split out here. Shit, I don't remember where to go. Fuck. Okay, let's try this one more time. Probably best to keep going left. Alright, go there, then kind of curve around towards that tree. So go here, then curve around towards this tree.
You don't stand a chance!
Alright, straight to rock. Ow, cheap shot.
Where have you gone?
I really wish I could see the guy. Go.
I'm following your tracks.
What tracks? I just went through a swamp. Shit. It's dangerous on the streets of London, I tell you what. This is a long sequence. Oh, this is Harrington. Holy shit.
My God, it's Lord Harrington's body. My health is deteriorating. I need to dress my...
He just grabs a snake, chews off its head. Snake eater style. Well, this isn't suspicious at all. This is currently being used. This fire is hot. Gotta
This
get
will
some
help
of
to
these.
dress my wound. The Quartermain Club. This must be Lord Marsh's cabin.
I'm bleeding out.
Someone's coming, I better hide.
Let's see the face of our killer.
Breathe, Lord Marsh. It's almost over.
Who are you?
George Hurst from the 1st Lovett Scouts, here to deliver justice.
An old soldier. How ironic. Did we refuse you on our special education program?
It's true, I was refused. An old wounded soldier is useless to you, but he can still be dangerous.
We hunted a lot in these woods, but I didn't expect to become the prey. I have lived a grand life without any limits set by others. I will die a happy man, so you won't see me begging you festering wretch.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to choose to kill the dad, or we're gonna have to choose to kill Lord Marsh.
Prepare to meet your maker.
Can I just shoot the gun out of his hand? Hold on, let's solve this mystery real fast. Popper. We found the Popper's body. Well, clearly I was correct in thinking that George Hurst... Well, actually, I thought George Hurst was dead. George Hurst is clearly alive. Ooh. George Hurst hunts down paupers and lords in the forest? It's kind of fucked up. I didn't think that... That doesn't sound right. I mean, we just heard the guy confess. Yes, we hunted paupers in the forest. Because, yeah, Marsh just said that. And Hurst is clearly getting revenge for his buddies. I don't think he's getting revenge for the purpose of... Well, clearly... The fact he's still alive. What is that? Does that change anything? Revenge. George Hurst intends to kill Lord Marsh as scapegoat for Hurst's own failures, or George Hurst is going to take the law into his own hands concerning Lord Marsh. It's clearly revenge. As much as it would be cool to say it's a humanitarian effort and say that he's mad at Marsh for rejecting his special program to let his boy learn to read and go to a better school and all that other crap, yeah, this is clearly a revenge trip. This has nothing to do with this kid. Out of curiosity. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. He doesn't hunt poppers. If I do this... Yeah, okay. So it would have to be George Hurst kills other people. Otherwise. Interesting. So we're back to this system. So as we recall, condemning and absolving doesn't actually change all that much. It just changes like a letter of thanks you get from the person who doesn't die. And also, Marsh has tuberculosis. He's gonna die soon anyway. I say put the man in jail. Just condemn him. And that way, I mean, he's gonna die either way. I don't think it's right for Hearst to kill the dude. That's not right. So I say we condemn the dude.
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now, it's time to end this.
By all means.
George, listen to me. If you're seeking an apt punishment and vengeance, killing Marsh will give him exactly what he wants. He would die knowing that he had fulfilled his life through his absolute control of it. But if you allow Marsh to live and be arrested, he will suffer a punishment far greater than you or I could deliver. His ball and chain will be the debilitating tuberculosis. It will drag him painfully and slowly to his demise behind bars.
You're mad. You're both mad.
Let's go and find Tom.
Not just
Alright, so we're having the reconnecting error again. God damn it.
Die here, although not by the gun. You'll die slowly.
Don't do this, George.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice.
Holmes, you cannot fully understand why we helped so many and sacrificed a few. But don't let me die like this. Just kill me now.
Mr. Hurst, you've already served brutal justice to Lord Harrington and I hope Lord Collins and Dr. Fisher. Taking that into consideration, you may as well kill Lord Marsh and end the Quartermain Club completely. No loose ends.
Looks like we're correct. Take that. Okay, looks like you guys are back. Well, you may have missed it during the thing, but the guy showed, hey, here's how the guy got tuberculosis. So as a hunter, all the poppers he was shooting and killing, he was beheading them like trophies, but the beheaded people, a lot of them had tuberculosis, so he got tuberculosis, ironically, from butchering the dead people he murdered. So that's how we got tuberculosis. And it looks like we were 100%, so we were correct in condemning Lord Marsh, which is cool. And we found all the clues. So good job. Go us. And just in time too, for some strange reason, I don't know why, I'm looking at my internet bandwidth and it's jumping from like super healthy to incredibly low. And I have zero control over this. I'm just watching it. I'm watching a meter go up and down wildly. So clearly it's just one of those nights where for some strange reason the internet just doesn't want to play nice, you know. It's restarted itself. I restarted it once, did better, but the good news is this is being recorded separately, so if you ever want to watch the full playthrough again, you can do that in the archives or the OBM Plays side channel / stream dump. But honestly, we reached a good conclusion right here. I don't want to start a new, I don't want to start a new chapter when I know we're not going to be able to finish it. Especially since the first one took us like 3 hours. Granted, sometimes they do have ones where they're super long and they take like multiple hours, but then they could have 1 or 2 cases that are just super short and take an hour. I remember the last one, like most of them averaged about an hour and a half, but there was one that was super short. So they might do that. There's always going to be 5 cases, but either way, so far so good. We are still detectives. We got the right bad guy, and honestly, I felt pretty good. I think it's funny how you can replay the ending. Nope, I'm okay with it. Oh, you know what? I probably should have noticed that the name of the chapter is called Pray Tell. A study in green. And prey being like, I'm hunting prey. That probably should have been an indicator of people are being hunted. But, oh well. I'm going to let this save. And then we'll just call it a night. Alright, so I can definitely say first impressions wise, while the visual fidelity on the character models is a lot lower, and I don't know why they changed the art style for Watson, they tried to change things up in the gameplay where you're not just walking around searching for clues and connecting logic, although you are still doing that. They're kind of livening up the gameplay because you had like a stealth mini game, you had you get to play as the dog again. Of course, you had the chase mini game with Sherlock there. So they're introducing a lot of different ideas. It'll be interesting to see how well they stick. Like, we'll watch the opening cinematic and then we'll call it a night.
Done, Watson.
Holmes, you're playing bowls? Indoors?
Not just any old bowls, Watson. Lawn bowling.
Seriously? With your injury? Oh, no. Mrs. Hudson is going to murder you.
Well, that's it for now. Time to go. Would you care to join me?
You're incorrigible.
Wah,
And
wah,
where are we going,
wah.
Holmes?
I'm participating in the final stage of the annual tournament held by the London Archaeological Institute's bowling club. It's an official invitation. I'll just need to dress suitably and then we can leave.
Okay, we'll dress up suitably and then we'll leave. But not for the tournament. It's funny, in terms of this stuff, like, you have... Actually, sportswear sounds about right. You have, like, the pastor outfit. You have the bandit outfit, of course. You have a doctor's thing. This is what they, by default, have. It's, like, him just kind of wearing, like, a loose button-down, like, looking kind of suave. You can dress up like a doctor, a bandit. You can dress up as a pastor. I'm like, this is going to be interesting if we have all these different disguises. Sportswear for this gentleman's club is most likely what we're going to be needing. That seems appropriate. All right. So we are back to solving mysteries. Like I said, after playing any RPGs or shooting games, I like to just chill out. Solve puzzles, solve mysteries. After this game's done, I'll be caught up on all the Sherlock Holmes games that I possibly can play, so that'll be nice. Alright, well, it sucks that we had such intermittent connection issues. Disappointing, but again, out of my control. Just simply something that happens. Thank you so much for watching. We are back in. We'll be back on probably Tuesday. Tuesday, of course, meeting up again. We're going to solve more mysteries. Don't know how long it's going to take. I was actually thinking that, oh man, maybe this will be super short and I'll get like 2 cases done now, 2 cases, maybe 3 cases done on Tuesday, but nah, it's not going to happen. Actually, kind of think of it, I think around 2 hours was some of the long cases of the last game, so we'll see. So, I like solving mysteries. If you guys would like to keep joining in, please do. I appreciate the company. It's always fun to solve these things together. Alright. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Oni Black Mage, and I will see you on the next battlefield.